hesitate. Into cycling, Melbourne crit scene, welcome to the team. Cycling complex, living out the dream. Pushing through hills, sharp turns extreme. Fast wheels flow, hear the tires scream. Drop the cadence in the storm's eye zone. Every push, pure fire down to the bone. 20 clicks deep, rhythm humming like a drone. Cycling complex where two wheels dethroned. Heartbeat sinks to the metronome spin. Geared for the rush, let the high begin. Clips locked tight, locked into the wind. Cycling complex where legends dive in. Pedal power, welcome to the stream. Cycling complex, living out the dream. Pushing through hills, sharp turns extreme. Fast wheels flow, hear the tires scream. Sharp like the wind, chain sings harmonies. Pulse in my chest, streets are symphonies. Cycling complex in the land of breeze. Momentum's the law, every second sees. Sharp like the wind, chain sings harmonies. Pulse in my chest, streets are symphonies. Cycling complex in the land of breeze. Unlike the law, every second sees. Pedal power, welcome to the stream. Cycling complex, living out the dream. Pushing through hills, sharp turns extreme. Fast wheels flow, hear the tires scream. Sharp like the wind, chain sings harmonies. Pulse in my chest, streets are symphonies. Cycling complex in the land of breeze. Momentum's the law, every second sees. Cycle slow, hear the tires scream. Hear the tires flow, hear the tires scream. Sharp like the wind, chain sings harmonies. Pulse in my chest, streets are symphonies. Cycling complex in the land of breeze. Momentum's the law, every second sees.
Welcome back to Into Cycling, and this is round one of the Toughen Up series from Eastern Cycling Club. This is out at Jindivick. As you can see, it's a nice sunny day. Temperature was around 18 to 20 degrees. Great conditions. Quite a hilly course, as you can see there. I've added the route profile, so you can see there's 3 climbs, and the race actually finishes at the top of the final climb. Traditionally, I'm not one for a hilly course like this, so on this occasion I dropped back to B grade, as did a few others. So anyway, I was just out there to see how I was going to go. My intention was to try and stay with the front group over all the climbs, and shortly we'll be approaching the first climb of the day, and it gives me an opportunity to sort of see whether I can hang with that front group. As I say, fine conditions, and this is a 4-round series, and this first one is at Jindivick. Second one is at Broadford, which I believe is run over 2 races of 40 minutes. So they do one race clockwise and then change directions anti-clockwise for the second race. So there's an opportunity there to get double points on that day. So yeah, looking forward to that one. Then I think there's a 2-week break, and then the other 2 rounds, which are later in June, which I'm not looking forward to because I hate the cold, and I imagine it's going to get quite cold by then. I normally pack up the bike around June, but this year I thought I'd have a crack at this series, so I'm going to stick it out until the end of June and finish off this series, hopefully. Hopefully I don't get sick, and hopefully I can handle the cold for a few more weeks. yeah, after that I'll have a little break and then head off to Italy and spend about a month of the summer over there doing some more riding. That will sort of be my base period for the next summer. Anyway, here we are. As I say, we're what, 12 k's in, just over 12 k's in, and yeah, we're about to approach that first climb. Now I've got a couple of new gauges on there today. I've got the gradient there on the bottom right hand corner next to the cadence. Power is where it normally is, and I've got the profile. And over on the left, just above the speed, there is just it just shows the accumulated ascent and descent for the day. So you can see there we've only just done about 109 meters of ascent, and there'll be a fair bit more to come. So there, just in front of me in the pink, that is AJ, or Andrew James, I think is his full name. He loves to attack, and he looks like he can climb pretty well, so we'll see how he goes. Yeah, he's one that I'll try and stay with. And he's probably like myself. I think he'll race B grade, probably occasionally A, I'm not sure. Yeah, so like I say, there's a few of us I think that I can pick out that have dropped back from A grade to do this event. So A grade in the crits, and even then, like, you know, on a bad day I'll still won't be able to hang on to A grade at the crits. Another rider who's dropped down is John here. I think that's John, is it? Quite a good climber. And you'll see as we hit the climbs, it looks like he's just sort of easily spinning up those climbs. So he's definitely got the right sort of body for climbing, unlike myself. Anyway, we might just bring it up to the start of the climb, and we'll go from there. We'll pick it up in a sec. Okay, so we're just starting the first climb here, and you can see there we've had someone else join us, which is Jules Haddo, just there on the left. She was in the A grade race. Not sure why they put her in A. She had originally registered for B. She's a very strong rider, but yeah, probably, I know she's been ill for a while too, so probably not up to the task of racing A grade with the men today. I know Jules, she comes and rides our Saturday bunch out at Warburton sometimes, and yeah, she's definitely able to stick with the stronger guys on the climbs, so yeah, definitely a very good rider. So here we go on the first climb. So far it's only about 5%, and as I say, my aim is just to try and not get dropped from the bunch and try and get over this with the faster guys. Now I can see just in front of me there's John and AJ, so at this point, you know, they're not they're just sort of going up there at a relaxed pace, and I've got them in sight, and that's my objective at the moment, is just to try and stay within striking distance of them both. And pace at the moment is pretty chill. Sort of we're doing, you know, at one point there was sort of low 200 watts. The gradient has just dropped off a little bit there for a second, but it will pick up again shortly. Okay, so I've just skipped ahead to the actual beginning of the climb. That was just a little rise before the first climb. So this is actually the proper first climb. Well, yeah, the first bigger climb. There were a couple of little shorter ones earlier, and you can see the percentage, the gradient is starting to increase. Pace is still pretty sedate, low 200s. That's not too bad. So still quite comfortable at this point. So there on my left is another rider that would have dropped from A grade. That's Chris Leckie. Yeah, he'll sometimes race A grade as well. Now if you look up the road, as predicted, AJ has gone off, and that's definitely forced the pace to increase a bit. So I'm just trying to make my way closer to the front in case there is a chase to bring AJ back. I'd like to be part of that if there is. Now I know John's still just behind me, so he's obviously not too fussed about this this little attack. So as long as I know I've got a couple of other strong climbers in the group, I'll still sit here in the main group for now. Percentage is just getting up a bit now, so around 7 or 8% for that split second, 8, 9. So yeah, this is about the percentage where I start to hurt. And as you can see here, I know John was actually up the road there, so I've just made an effort to get right over to the front, hoping that these guys will follow and maybe we could have started a small breakaway. I'll look back and it doesn't look like they're keen on a breakaway just yet. It is very early in the race, so maybe I was just getting ahead of myself a bit. So I just sort of slow up and wait. I must say those helmet covers that we use at Eastern Cycling Club are very unflattering. I know why they use them. It just makes them a lot easier to identify the grades on the road. But geez, they're damn ugly. See, all those green caps are green is B grade and A is white. I've actually bought a white helmet, so when I race A grade I just use the white helmet instead. Yeah. So happy with that. I managed to get over that first part of the climb with the front group. So that's all great. The pack is still together. There's Jules there. She's made it across with the front group as well as Chris. So I'm not sure how many riders were actually dropped here, because I after this first climb I did realise the pack was a lot smaller. I did always try and stay close to the front, so I didn't really know how many more riders were back there, but I do remember watching the start of this race again. There were a lot of riders that I only saw at the beginning, which I never saw again. So I'd say the pack did whittle down quite a bit after that first climb. It was really good to get some feedback. When I was at Reggio, I had two guys, one who I don't know his name, who mentioned that he's been watching the YouTube channel, and another guy, Sam, who's actually in this race. You'll probably see him shortly. He came up to me and said that he enjoys the videos and he shares them around. So really appreciate the feedback, Sam. Thanks, mate. Yeah, like when you do something like this, especially when it's the first time you've done something like this, you're not sure whether you should keep doing it. So that feedback is really encouraging. So thanks heaps, guys. So we're on the second part of the climb there, and you can see the percentages are pushing up. We've got 11% there for a second. So again, this is a good place to see who's got the legs for the climbs today. And it's the usual suspects there, a few of the guys that sometimes race A grade, which are getting over the climbs first, sorry. This is actually the first race that I've done with climbs in it, where I've been able to stick with the front group, except for years ago, going back to 2016 or 17, I can't remember, 16, when I raced the Tour of Bright. I was 63 kilos back then, and quite fit, and I was able to stay with the front group in the, I think it was C grade Masters back then, but different feel to what this is. Even though it was C grade, it was still pretty quick. Well, for me anyway. And now I've put on quite a fair bit more weight than then, sitting on about 73 kilos, so 10 kilos more than back then. And to be honest, I think I'm actually climbing better in some way, and the main reason for that, I believe, is just living out here at Warburton. I do a lot of gravel riding and a lot of climbing on those gravel rides. I've got Mount Donabuang literally on my doorstep, so I tend to ride that a fair bit. So that's really made a difference, even though I'm heavier. One thing I've been able to do is hold good sustained power output, whereas before I'd sort of only be able to hold a high amount of power for a short period of time. So just from doing lots of climbs, I found that I can hold higher power for longer, which is what it takes for these climbs. You can see there, we're sort of sitting sort of low to mid 300s for a while, and almost over the top of this first climb. And look, my heart rate is up there, so almost, yeah, well, there you go, 180. So towards the end of that climb, they're definitely pushing my limits, but I'm there, so that's the important. Sorry, that's what's important, I guess. So I managed to get over that climb. So that's what will end up being the finish climb. So that's where the race will finish, on that climb. So pretty happy with that. And now a little bit of a descent, so give us the opportunity to recover, and then it won't be long before we're back into it again. Alright, might pick it up on the next climb, see how we go. Okay, so this is the next smaller climb. So just about to hit that. You can see we've got Chris Leckie on the front there, followed by Jules. He's trying to maintain a nice steady rhythm, but the other guys here have decided that's not fast enough, so there's a little bit of a tack off the front, and I know this is a group I need to stay with, so I dig deep and get on the back of these guys. Yeah, this could actually be a dangerous move if we let it go. I'm looking down at my power and heart rate there, probably thinking, come on, let's try and keep everything within the limits. Doesn't take much for everything to get pear-shaped on a climb. On a hilly course like this, all it takes is a few too many hard accelerations, burn too many matches, and you're gone. There's another rider there. I'm not sure of his name, but I know he normally races A grade there. The guy just on my right, just passing me there. So John and the other rider, I'm not sure who that other rider is. It could be Craig Stannard, but I'm not sure. He's a fairly decent rider as well. Not sure if that was him. Let's See if I can see his face as we get up towards him. Again, I'm pretty happy that I'm here at the pointy end of the race on these climbs, and yeah, it's not something I'm used to, so this is great. Yeah, that would have definitely thinned out the pack a bit more, but I mean, there is an opportunity here on this descent for people to get back on, as you can see, as they are just behind me there. Looks like Chris is on the front drilling it, probably trying to reduce the chances of more riders getting back on over that last climb. Alright, well, we might pick it up again at the start of the next climb, which will be the second last climb for the race. Okay, so we're at the start of the next climb, and as you can see here, so that's Sam there on the front. He was the guy that gave me all that great feedback. So again, Sam, thank you very, very much appreciated. Looks like at this point AJ's going to have a dig, so I know I definitely need to follow that. And someone else here up the road as well. Oh yeah, I remember this guy having a go here. I don't know his name. I hadn't really seen him before, I don't think. I believe that attack has done a little bit of damage back there. Yeah, so it seems on most of these climbs you're sort of needing to sort of sit anywhere between mid 200s to mid 300s with my body weight anyway of 73 kilos. That's roughly what I needed to get over these with the faster guys. So this might be a good time to just have a look at some of the stats from the race. So my maximum average 20-minute power was 225 watts. Normalized power for the whole race was 241 watts. So for me, that's a power to weight ratio of 3.3 watts per kilo, which is, it's not huge. That's you know, I guess that's sort of B grade masters. Intensity factor 0.96, so getting up there. TSS 173.5, again getting up there for just under 2 hours. Average standing power 235, not sure that's correct. Shows total standing power there of only 7 seconds. Surely I would have been out of the saddle more than that. So yeah, something gone wrong there. Anyway, so yeah, they were the stats, and again, nothing over the top. Yeah, but still made for a difficult race. So this is the second last time up the final climb to the finish line, and at this point I'm just really trying my best to stay with this front group. I know there's one last time we have to go up this, and that's the finish, so I definitely don't want to get dropped on this second last time up here. So it's quite a sustained effort, mid 350 watts there. And you can see John there just in front of me. Compared to everyone else, he looks like he's doing this climb with ease. So he's definitely one to watch at the finish. I won't give too much away. Few cars on the course, they were all pretty well behaved, which is good. I've been to some events where you get some very impatient drivers doing some really dangerous overtaking maneuvers. I know it can get frustrating, but you know, seriously, it's only a few seconds of your life, mate. So yeah, just a little bit of patience. These roads are pretty quiet, so you know, it doesn't take too long to get around us if you need to. At this point, I'm pretty grateful that I'm still here, still with the front group, getting over this second last climb. And now, once we get over the top of this and recover, I'm just going to be bracing myself for that last climb. And I imagine we're going to see a very different ride up this climb the next time. I think everyone's sort of keeping something in reserve here. I'm pretty sure it's just going to split up all over the place the next time we come up here. So I'm sitting at like 175, 176 beats per minute, which is pretty much my lactate threshold. So I know I can hold this, you know, for at least 20 minutes, 30 minutes. So I'm pretty comfortable here. So that's a good sign, knowing that that's what it took to get over that climb that time. I know it's going to take a lot more the next time up. I'm sure I'm going to be pushing way over threshold to stay in the lead group the next time, which will be the last time to the finish. So I guess to not keep anyone in further suspense, let's get to that last climb and see how the race pans out. So here we are, the final time up the climb to the finish, and I'm really just bracing myself here, waiting for when it's all gonna explode. Now, I wasn't under any misconception that I was going to win this race. This is not a finish I would be good at. If it's a short uphill sprint, yeah, but this is a long climb to the finish. So I was hoping for at least a top 5, preferably top 4, because I know there are points for the series up until 4th place. So my goal was to get no worse than top 4. And I wasn't sure whether that was going to happen here, because there's definitely a few strong riders in the group. So at this point, nothing has really happened. We're still getting up there, still going up there at a reasonable pace, but nothing crazy. No one's launched any attacks. So the 2 riders on the front at the moment, they're definitely the ones to watch. Good to see Jules is still in there, even though she wasn't really in this race. I think this was a good workout for her and a good test to see where she is in terms of her way back from illness. So she seems to be riding quite well to be there at the finish on this last climb with us. So as you can see, if you look at the graphic there that shows the profile, there are two sort of sections of this climb. So this first one, and then it'll dip down again. So at this point, no one's going to do anything until we get over this first little section, and then it will be fireworks after that. I remember as we were coming up here, I couldn't remember whether this was actually the climb to the finish, and I remember turning around to Chris there on my left and asking him if this was the last climb, and he said yes, but I misunderstood that as in we were on our way to the finish. I forgot about the little dip. So it is the last climb, but there is a little dip before the run to the finish line. Yeah, 'cause I was surprised that the pace was still reasonably sedate at this point. You can see here, yeah, it looks like it drops down a little bit. Yeah, so we're only seconds away from when this race is really going to be decided. Yeah, and things are about to get serious. So I'm thinking if I didn't think I would beat either of these two guys, so I thought if I can at least just sit with them as close to them as possible, that should ensure I get the best result I can. I was really hoping AJ wasn't going to swing off here. I did not want to be on the front, and that's why I've just dropped back a little bit. Alright, so we're right in that little dip now. You can see we're at -4, 1 point there, gradient. So we're going downhill for this section, and then it'll shoot up, and that will be it. It looks like AJ's trying to keep the pace fast coming into that climb. Trying to stop any little moves off the front to get ahead. I think at one point Chris yelled out that I think Steve was going to try and do a fly from the back, and he mentioned that to AJ, and I think that's why he's pushing the pace there before the climb. Yeah, so AJ's really on the gas there, probably burning a few too many matches, but someone's got to do it, so that's good. I'm glad it was him and not me. At this point, my nerves are through the roof. I'm thinking, oh, when's it going to happen? I know John's still behind me, and I was thinking that when he goes around, here he goes, I'm going to try and follow him, but he's too quick. Chris jumps on his wheel. He knows that's the wheel to be on. I sit behind him. But looking at John, he doesn't even look like he's going full gas yet, and he's opening up that gap. So I decide to see if I can get across to him. Heart rate's at 183. I'm close to blowing up here, and we've still got a fair bit to go. I thought we were almost there. Probably went a little bit too hard there and cooked myself. And now really trying to stay with these guys. I'm really under pressure now. I can see my 4th place slipping away. So this other rider that's come through, he was the other A-grade rider that I mentioned. So at the moment I'm still in 4th place. I'll go around this guy sitting in 3rd place now. And you can see there I'm in a lot of pain. That is the face of pain right there. At this point I'm just pedaling squares, just barely getting up this climb, this last section. So I'm in third place, hoping to hold on to third place, but really don't have much more in the tank here. I'm really on the limit. John's gone, he's way up the road. Got AJ in second place there. And there goes Chris. He was just on my wheel for that last section. Probably sensed a moment of weakness in myself and thought this is the time to go. I had nothing left to chase him. So my objective now is really just to try and hold that fourth place. In an absolute world of hurt right now. That was an awesome acceleration by Chris there. I can't believe that. That's amazing, mate. Well done. And he actually gets past AJ for a second, I'm pretty sure. Oh, as I see that finish line, I'm so happy. Almost there. Just hoping no one's going to come around me. Almost at max heart rate. Heart's about to explode. Oh, look at that. I'm absolutely dying here. No one directly behind me. I take a look over my shoulder, hoping to secure that fourth place to at least get some points for the series. Just got nothing left. Another quick check to make sure no one's coming around. Oh, thank God, and I've made it for fourth place. I'm happy with that on this course. Really happy with that. So that's it, guys. Congratulations to John for winning. Chris for coming second and AJ third. Well done, guys. Looking forward to the next round. See you all there. And thanks for watching if you lasted this long. If you're in the race, leave a comment, please. Let me know how you went, how you felt. And please, if you can, please like the video and subscribe. I'd be forever grateful. Thanks, guys. See you in the next one.